Welcome to session 4, and we're going to talk about niching down, which I don't know why it makes me giggle so much. I guess because we are both admittedly, we're all over the place. You know, we like to pursue new things, to try new things. Both of our businesses have encompassed a lot of stuff. Now, I think we both feel like it all fits, within our brands, and it makes sense. But at the same time, you'll hear people say you need to have a specialty. You need to niche down. You need to be in a lane, pick a lane, and there's some truth in that, but there's arguments for doing that and then arguments for not doing that. This one over here.
I think the thing is, I just bristle at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Even the book, so I read the book.
Don't tell me to do that.
I know. Don't put me in a box. Don't put baby in the corner. Yeah, I read the book Essentialism, and I have to tell you, even just being willing to read it was
a big deal.
It was tough for me, and there were times when I'm reading it like, I do not like what he's saying about like, pick one thing and take it all the way. And I'm like, okay, that's good for Michael Phelps.
Right.
That's good for whoever. That's fine. They want to swim all day long. That's okay. For me, I think it comes down to my personality where I'm like, I am not an assembly line. I am not someone who can do the same thing over and over and over again. I love having just some creative freedom to try new things. I mean, there are too many good art supplies in the world to not try different mediums.
I know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm interested in so much, you know what I mean? I'm just curious about it, to see if I can I'm not even worried about mastering all the way, but semi-master it, or enjoy it, and I do. I want to try new things. I want to always stay curious. So it is, that is a personality thing, but I would say with your business, it's probably helpful to identify, what are the benefits of that for me? Would there be a benefit because I do think you can take it too far, because there's a difference between being diverse and distracted.
So,
you know what I mean?
There was a store where we lived in Pennsylvania. There was a store that was a video rental store, hair salon, and something else. There was some other business.
Like a butcher.
It was the most bizarre, and you had a convenience store, and then something, and you had to like walk through the video store, which it was like a video store.
But it was a video store, period.
Still there. Yeah. So, you're walking through the video store and all to go get your hair done, and it was just really weird. So, it can be like that, where it's like, you've got to, in that sense, you don't need to pick a lane, but just be on the same road, going in the same direction.
Yes, correct.
I think that's
the same
important.
Interstate,
Yeah.
It can be a large road. It doesn't have to be a 2-lane. That's fine. Just pick an area and be focused on your overarching, vision and your overarching, look and style and feel, whatever it is that you're creating. I think that's a great thing to do. But we're not much for the niching down. And
now the advantage to that is definitely mastery, being known as an expert in something. There's an artist who I really admire. Her name is Susan Harder, and she does mural papers, and we had emailed a little bit at one point, and she said, I'm just a one-trick pony. I really admire what you do. And I'm like, well, it's a pretty darn good trick.
Right, impressive pony.
Her papers are beautiful. She does such a good job with them. And I do have a real admiration for her.
Me too.
And at times, kind of when I'm all over the place, I'm just like, man, there's a real simplicity and a confidence that comes with, this is what I do.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it really well. And I'm not going to. Yeah. There's so many directions she could go, and she
stays there. Yeah.
She stays there.
That's why I think it is. It is very much a personality thing. What suits you and the way you want to approach, your business and what you want to to offer. I think probably for both of us, we're comfortable knowing we may not, ever become just a master at one particular thing or the other, but that, we like to, and I would not say that we don't want to be excellent, because I think we both want to be excellent at the things we do. But, I think it's more important to be probably curious and to try new things and to stay intrigued, maybe is the right word. That's probably more important for both of us than, becoming just, I don't know, Michelangelo. So.
Oh, I could not work on a ceiling for that long.
No
could not happen. I think a part of it is I have a little bit of an impatient personality. I want things, I want to see completion of things, and I like the doneness of things, and I do also get bored of doing the same thing over and over again. Right. So I like reinventing myself, and I think a part of that comes from being a military brat. I like change. It's exciting for me. Yeah. But some of the advantages to not niching down, kind of going against that popular current, is that you have diversity in your business. And so that you're able to, and let me clarify real quick before I finish that sentence, is that we don't mean that you have to, we're talking about business. Yeah. So you can have a very niche down business and have a very varied life. Right. All that you do all kinds of things and have all sorts of interests, but you're focused in your business on one specific thing. Yeah. I think for us, we love having a lot of different arms to our business, and there is a craziness that comes with that, but there's also kind of security that comes with that, in that if one arm of the business is, maybe it was on a bubble and now it's the time has kind of passed for it, or maybe it's an area that we're just physically tired of doing, then we can
support it.
Yeah, we can turn that off or turn it down and put some effort and energy into another area. And I know for me, I like that. I like knowing that at any point I have a few different options that I can explore if ever I need to. So I don't have to panic if something is on a downward trajectory.
Well, and I think for creatives, too, in business, that's pretty important. If you're, let's say that you're not going to keep your day job and you really are, you're going all in, which we would both say it's totally okay, by the way, to have a day job and do creative work and slowly ease your way into that replacing income. Probably even super smart. But, let's say that you're either past that point and you're ready to take the full plunge, or, you just want to begin in the beginning that way. Good for you for being brave. It's by doing that, you do give yourself a little less pressure on that one thing. And I would say all of us sort of have this one central, creative work that a lot of the other things center around, so it does give you a little less pressure, and I think relieves some burnout, in only focusing all the time on that one thing. It kind of gives you a little bit of a, you know what I mean? A room to play, room to breathe, try new things and split your focus occasionally, however that looks for you.
I've always loved that about blogging, that it's okay, one day I can work on photography, one day I can work on writing, one day I can work on actually doing projects. And then it's I'm not a slave to the sewing machine all the time. I can do it when it suits me, or when just for a season while I'm working on a project. And I like working that way. So it definitely depends on you and how you work. Right. So there's not a right or wrong. I think what I bristle at is not the idea of having a niche, but the idea of people saying you have to have a niche.
Right.
Then I'm like, no. So if you want a niche, you go ahead and do a niche, and there's great value in that. But if you're like, there's just more I want to do, then do that. Yeah. So that's what we want to release you from, is this feeling that you have to be one or the other. You don't. There are successful business models that follow both.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Amen.
Right.
I mean, it's preaching over here. We take turns doing that.
Yeah. There are different topics that we're passionate about. You can start to see the tension build in one of us, because we're like, we've got to talk about this.
Right.
So in the next session, we're going to talk about setting some boundaries, which, gosh, It's an ongoing thing. It's
Yeah,
an important
always.
thing. So we're going to talk about it.
That's right.